Hello, kitty. Hello, chat. My kitty just came over and said, what am I working on here? I am working on the last zone of Wutville here. And I'm working on this back wall, as I affectionately call it. Don't really know what else to call it, but it's simply because I understand the greater size where everything is, and to me that's a back wall. To you guys, it's just a wall. But, I assure you, it's got back. Yeah, I know. The music's probably a little too loud, so I will... Alright. Bye? Yeah, there we go. Sorry. Just wanted to see my voice meter go up when I said something. Anyway, so right now we're pretty happy up to this point with the greater Wutville. We'll kind of pull it back. We haven't done that for a bit for you guys. But that's the whole thing. Starts out down here. I hope you can follow when I talk about these things, I'm using my cursor. So, anyways. So, you start here, you go up, then into the building here, and then back out. Guess I could go over there a little bit. You come around through here, into the building, then out underneath this little tower, and then straight through here. And then there's kind of where we're at. Pretty happy with everything up to this point. Pretty happy with this side of the building. I'm pretty happy with what's going on over here. This little thing is not actually going to stay. It's a little sore spot for me. So I want to put something there. But I don't know what it is yet. So I've got that thing kind of sitting there reminding me to figure that out. We got a point here. This is point C. Pretty happy with, you come out here and you see these built, you got a little bit of cover. Plenty to shoot back and forth if snipers want to shoot each other. You come out here straight. You can go across and then up into the other building and up towards D point, which is up and around the corner up there. Or you can come out through here and then don't mind the gaps, something like that. There's probably a joke in there. Anyways. And then this is a back way to get, like the back hallway. That might be excessive. I may tune that so that blue team can't come up through there or shut it off. I don't know. I need to, it's there if I need it, and I can turn it off if I need to. And you could, sorry, it's hard. Couldn't see all the way down the hallway because I got some random models doing some placeholder stuff on the other side here. But I assure you that hallway goes through and it comes out here. Which is, very, I don't know, sort of aggressive, but Red gets access to the hallway too, so it's not so aggressive. It's actually, I could actually see maybe a sniper battle in the hallway. That would be kind of funny. But anyways, but what I'm currently working on, because I'm pretty happy with the insides of this building. You kind of go up, and then you got a couple doors to get out of there. It's not finished, but it's like the pathways are figured out. And I like this kind of mount. This post here, or the pipe that's kind of acting as a post here on the corner. It gives us plenty of cover for people back there as they're kind of wandering out of spawn. I kind of threw these bridge things in here as a visual element last time I was fucking around. Wasn't sure if I'd like it or not. And when I do some of these things, I'll like put them in and then like, hey, the next time I look at this, I'll see if I still like it. And often I don't. I think I still do though. Not sure how that would, what to do. Like, be fun to put rails on them, and then automate some carts going on them. Kind of keep snipers and shit off of them. Could put the same thing in here, but not actually just make that just a pathway. Don't actually put a cart on that one. Because that's part of what I wanted to do. Like, since I've got some time, it's January still. Mid-January. Before the next Christmas, that is. So once I get the layer built out and kind of get the get it in front of people and get some feedback, excuse me, when I come back to do some polish work, I want to do lots of little sort of extra things, because then, you know, the inspiration of that is from Dr. Seuss books, when he would have those big, huge drawings of like an entire city or village or whatever. You would see lots of little tiny things going on, or like somebody watering something else. People are doing shit all over the place. There's activity. And inside Wutville, there is not much. Now, granted, it's night and it's snowing and all that. But there, you know, so I'm not, you know, and nor will I have like kids walking around or, you know, or watering flowers or anything like that. Like nothing. No, that's not going to happen. But the idea of having some automated systems, like, you know, carts delivering stuff to different parts of the factory, machines that are got levers that are moving, perhaps, I don't know, you know, so that sort of idea. You know, I don't want to turn it into a Dr. Seuss thing, but that sort of inspiration of having some sort of movement in there, so it's not just this dead backwards. You know, it's all, you know, think of, it's more like kind of like what you would see like on a theme park ride, when you're going through and you see the kind of the animatronics, you know, doing It's a Small World or whatever. Actually, that's probably way over the top compared to what I want. But, you know, the idea of background animatronics that are just happening is kind of the idea more. So, yeah. Don't take the context, take the idea, I guess. Anyways. So, been fighting burnout on this thing at the moment. Been building, chewing on it for a couple months now. And, you know, if I didn't want to just get this thing done, I probably would set it down again, to be honest. But I do want to get this done. And so I am making myself, at the very least once a week, work on this for a couple hours. And that is where we're at. Because I will fight through this, and it will, you know, I'll get back to the point where I'm like banging on it every night. But right now, the greater TF2 community is not exactly happy or healthy. I'm not sure exactly what to think about all of that. Definitely not going to make any comments on this VOD about it. Other than I'm trying to also leverage my experiences working as a developer to help kind of season or temper some of this stuff. And it does actually go a long way. My experience does go a long way into understanding what's going on in some places, but some of it I just simply do not understand their choices, and I will just leave it at that. I'm not going to talk about it any further, as I don't want to. I just want to work on this. I want to get this done. Hopefully that will then be a positive thing, and I can move forward with either another map or another project, something else. I won't do nothing, but I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I promise that I will not let myself think about what I'm going to do after this map until this map is done. My head keeps suggesting things, and I'm not listening. Anyways. So, with all that said, right now I am kind of, as I said, working on this this left wall here. Now, so the situation here is that the train's going to be pushing up this hill, slight hill, but still a hill. And players have got a couple options on how they attack. Obviously, some people will always be on the cart, but you need to provide, because everybody else that likes to go forward and DPS and kill the enemy, so that whoever's forgot somebody's it's always like we forgot to sit in the cart. We're too busy roaming around killing people. Anyways, so for all the people that aren't sitting on the cart, which is everybody, they've got a couple options. And what I like to do is, you got your main path, and I like to give what I call like hallways or double paths on both sides of the train. And so one is going to be here, going around this pipe here on this cart path, we'll call it, I guess. We've got fences here. Giving some cover. The idea is that the hallways are areas of somewhat cover. And you're like, well, that one doesn't have any cover. Well, that's not actually the hallway. The hallway would be that, which just gives you cover, because you can get quite far up into, up to here. You get a door coming out here. Probably going to make one and or both of these doors open. Not sure. Definitely will be an open closers, but we'll see. If it's one, the other one might be broken. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I definitely want an entry open on this wall. So it'll if I make one, it'll be this one. If it's both, the idea here is that I don't want this to I want this to be a little permeable. I want red team, blue team cannot just sit back here in this little area and build up and then come out here and win. Red can actually, see into this space and, tell if that's happening, obviously. But it's more of it gives blue the ability to get up here without getting their face shut off before they engage. They engage, if there's a pyro out here or demo or whatever they're shooting, at least the doors will, protect them, and they can stand there and wait until it's right. Or if the other team comes, you get the idea. Transparent doors to help make this situation a little fairer for the blue team coming up, and for the red team, so that they can help defend. Because you do want to give you don't want to make it hard for the red team to defend. You want to give them a chance. That's what they're here for too. Obviously, they often fail, but it's part of the game, I guess. I don't know. That part I never really figured out. Mainly because it's fun for the explosions and for everybody. I don't know. Anyways, we'll leave that alone. So red team's base is here, spawn, and they come out here. I've got some models I need to jiggle around, and they kind of come out. And this will be a walkway over this pipe, probably. Since I haven't built it, I haven't decided how long it will be. Potentially coming out here. I don't know. I don't know, because they can also walk on top of the pipe, and I kind of like letting them walk on top of the pipe because it's even more dangerous to stay up there because it's harder. Giving them a walkway, actually, that's probably why I pulled that back. Is that I don't mind giving snipers spots to shoot people in the face from far away, but I want to make it difficult for them to stand there. So if they stand just on this pipe, that's kind of difficult. Oh, look at that! I've got a bot in chat. How awful! No, dude, this ain't about that. You ain't gonna get. You can go away. Cheers. Anyways, how rude. So the idea is that staying on that pipe is difficult. Staying on a rail. One way or front or back, and they will fall off. So it's a skill issue, and I don't mind. That's kind of where it comes with for me is that I don't mind giving snipers some a spot to do their job, but it has to be a skill test of some sort. And having letting them stand up there. But granted, you can say, well, they can stand back there too. Yeah, but they can't see shit from back there. I don't know. I'm not trying to excuse what I've built. It's not even built. It's just saying. It's. I don't want to punish snipers to the point where they don't want to play the map. They're here to have fun too. I do want to make it fair. I understand that lots of people have different opinions of what fair means, and since I'm the one making it, too bad. I will do my best to make it fair as I see fit. Other than that, comments go in the round bin. So, what am I here for today? Well, I wanted to kind of, like I said, look at this back wall. I wanted to see what I had built. It'd been a few days since I've been here. I remember last time I ended up building all this out. When I build a lot, it's a little sus sometimes. Often you're just banging shit out, which I kind of was, I can see. Definitely was. Banging some shit out here. Look at that. Like a repetition. Oh my god. All the same piece here. But I can see what I was getting at here. Is that I was building some little clustering here. Some clustering here, letting the pipes kind of breathe here and here. Kind of start to get a little bit of a rhythm going. I really hate that button. And then we've got this pipe coming up here that kind of duplicates what we're doing here, which is good because I was probably going to need to build a new piece for that. So using it here as well will be nice and efficient-ish. Even though I have to build another new piece. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. So, And then, yeah, obviously this will have to be a new piece too. Might build, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about these. Obviously, I just took some stairs and kind of just chopped off the bottom of them and threw them in there to kind of see what was going on. See if I would like it, kind of do, I basically pull those off into max and then rebuild them. It'd probably not be stairs. They'll probably just be like cart tracks. Really like the idea of making them like that, especially if I then twist the idea further and make them look like the TF2 cart tracks, which are kind of like the mining things, but then with all like curved pieces. It sounds like actually a lot of fun. The more I'm kind of saying it, but without all the legs, it kind of still has to stick around with the Seuss idea of impossibility, of cantilevering, and the gesture of the shape of the line and whatnot. So basically, what does all those big words mean? Basically means we'll have a curved rail path in there with ties going back and forth still, so you can still see kind of through it. Because when you're standing under there, it does feel a little heavy. But if it's like two thick rails with like ties going back and forth and I can see through them, that feels better. Especially then I can like I said, if I put automatic carts on those, I can see them, while I'm standing underneath it, which is nice. I would probably let people jump up, let demos jump up on there. But I'll make the collision box for the cart fully fill the track. So like if you're thinking, I'll just stay on the edge. Nah, it's going to get you. It will get you. If I build all that. But I'm smiling while I'm thinking about it, so I probably will. Because it sounds like fun. Be able to jump up there, throw some stickies down or whatever. But no, you've only got, seconds before the cart comes through again. Or make it random so that, you never know when it's coming next. Sounds even better. And by random, it means it just goes and through a range. Because you can't make it truly random. Because at some point, that would be a problem. Been there, done that. Anyways, probably I'll have to build all that too, but that's fine. And I might be able to design it so that I only have to build one piece. I mean, I'm using the same piece here. But if I can use it, in the same place in all of these places, that'd be nice. I'm just getting sensitive to how many different things I've built in here. I don't want the map size getting too big. If it gets too big, it's actually a real problem because servers won't load the map. And obviously that would be an issue. I've got lots of options for optimization, so it's not really a super big concern. But I can't just go crazy either. I'm obviously spending some verts already through all the curved pieces. So it's, at some point it will be a bigger size download, asset in general, because it has more verts. People are like, oh, polygon counts or, triangles, quads, blah, blah, blah. No, people, none of that shit matters. It is verts. It's verts all the way the fuck down. Verts define your UVs. Verts define your triangles. They define your quads. Everything to the processor, to the GPU is verts. And then they are grouped into collections, and they have information attached to them, and all that, which makes it... Anyways, the point of all this is that... Well, no, wait. When you have a vert on a square, and there's no textures or no UVs, cool, that's like 1. But when you put UVs on it, now it's 2. It's 2 verts on that one corner. You're like, well, that doesn't make sense. And I'm like, actually it does when you look at the math. Because it's another definition. And that vert can have that extra UV definition is assigned to the vert. It's not necessarily... It is not the same thing. They are different collections of information. One is spatial, one is 2D in texture space. And they're not the same thing. As in, not the same information. That means they are, when you add a UV vert to a vert, you now have 2 verts. And if you're like, well, that doesn't make sense, I'm like, well, go into Maya, go into Blender, whatever you want, test it out. Take a square, take whatever you want, scrub everything off of it so it's just verts. Just your polys, whatever, quads, don't care. Just make sure it's just that. No UVs or anything. Cool. You probably, check your vert count. It's probably exactly what you expect. Throw some UVs on there. You'll notice that it just doubled your vert count. Almost. It's actually a little higher because the edges of your UV shells also have more information. So when you have these guns and you look at these UV layouts and there's like a billion different islands, the tech artist in the corner is crying because you have made so many more verts because of all your perfect little islands are so inefficient. Anyways, I am rambling. And maybe that helps somebody. Cool. I'm glad I helped you for this day while you sit here and listen to me talk about Wutville and ramble. But the thing is that these houses have quite a few verts in them to make them soft and round. And then when they light, I intend to use vert lighting on them, which makes it a little cheaper. So if I don't have verts, like if you don't have like from here to here, if I try to light between that with vert lighting, it just wouldn't work. It would get the shadows that get all stretched out. But here they're very tight, so I'll get decent looking shadows and stuff on them really, really cheaply. Even though the shadow information adds another layer of verts. I swear, it's all fucking verts. There's none of that shit. All that shit that people fucking think is important about the whole quads. The whole quads thing is actually really, really, really selfish of the artists. Because they're like, oh, quads are the best. Nobody cares about those fucking quads but the artist. Because the artist has to edit it. And having it all in quads makes it easy to edit. And you're like, well, it makes it easier to automatic decimate. Granted, yeah, sure, got it. You know how many automatic decimators there are in games these days? Not a lot. And you can say, well, it's the whole helps with the LODs. And I'm like, it's LODs. They don't need fucking help. They're across the goddamn world. It's a bullshit. That's a bullshit argument. There's just Anyways, being an old game dev, and you see all these bullshit arguments that come up in Twitter, and I don't want to fucking go argue with them. And I don't generally, because I don't give a shit enough to go prove that I'm right or wrong. I don't need to go prove myself right to them. I will just sit over here and do my work and live my life and move forward. And everybody in the situation is happy. And they can be a little bit wrong and still get through life, and that's fine. They're at least in the ballpark. We'll leave it at that. Now if they came out and said, verts are fun and they all have spline handles, I'd have to pull them aside and stab them. That's wrong. But, we're not doing that. I'd have to get a new knife, too. That's a pain in the ass. Alright. So really, what I need to do here is figure out kind of the path through that the players would take through on that second hallways that we were discussing. These red boxes are all volumes that are they are not valid volumes because one of the verts is tucked inwards, so it makes a concave shape. It does not like it, and I actually don't really give a shit because these things are just up here for looking at for the moment, as I had just discussed. So I delete them because actually it's a little bit of a pain in the ass because when I open up the map, the editor says, "Hey, there's 2 invalid volumes in there. You gotta fix that shit." I click the button and go through it. An extra button click. It's awful. Anyways. I need to figure out this side stuff. What I need here is some more pieces of this stuff. I don't know. Usually this resolution is not great, but that's actually not too bad. We might be able to get it to work for here, but up here we'll definitely need to figure something else out because that's not gonna work. I might be able to make this work. Let's go ahead and move this junk out of the way. Let's see. Probably reorganize some of this with different pieces and stuff because it does look a little monolithic at the moment. Kind of pull them back a little bit, get them a little more reasonable footprint that I can work with. I like in general to kind of smooth out these curves a little bit. So that's actually just about right. This probably needs to go, it's probably just too high. Feels okay, I guess. I'm just trying to be sensitive about some of it showing and where this hill is and whatnot. I guess the next thing we need to do here is pull up some of the land, get it to see what that looks like. See if I can make that work. I do have other pieces I can fit in there, but if I don't have to use another piece, that's better. First, we're going to little smoothing. Smooth, 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 smooth. Alright, it's all very, very smooth now. This is obviously bumping it up. Laying up. We want to kind of, we were going to have to do more smoothing. Just a bit. Now, in my head, you have to kind of remember this is snow. It will be snow. I'm telling that to myself, not you. Raise lower. Let's make it a little smaller. We do not need that much. Let's make this a little bigger. No, not the distance. Distance could actually be smaller. Yeah, I don't like if I would do and if I do, I put the those cart rails through here. I don't since I'm not actually going to have carts going on the lower one. We'll build the snow up on it because the carts would obviously brush them aside, sort of a thing, brush the snow aside. But this will be, this lower one will be unused, perhaps, or whatever. Regardless, snow. La la. God damn, I hate that button. Alright, now let's do a little painting. Do never smooth while you're painting. I don't exactly know what it does, but let's just say it's not great. And then this is, you can see it's on one vert there. That's one vert. 2, 3, 4. Like basically, this is your brush size, and it does a fall off between it. And this is the side, and I've got continuous mouse, so the longer I hold it, the more it keeps reapplying it. So you have to kind of just do little taps at the moment. Which, if you don't have continuous mouse on, you end up doing more taps anyways. So it's one of those things you learn over time. So we want to kind of have the middle of this thing be the ground. And then everything else kind of touching it is the snow. So the idea is that you've got this courtyard type material, but it's definitely been over snowed quite a bit. So the only places you see the cobblestone through is where it's, well, where the cobblestone would be and the snow isn't, which means usually a little flat, It's kind of in the center of some of these areas, and where where the kids have been walking through and whatnot. So we want to pull that back a little bit. Oh, not the value. You want the size to go back. So these are pretty rough painting at the moment, because we're not even close to done. We're just kind of getting the idea in here. Probably have a door here. That's kind of what I'm thinking with that. With the different ones, you can definitely get some better edging and shading. So this is pretty rough. Not too worried about it just yet. We're just kind of communicating to myself my intentions. The fact that some of the stuff would be really out here would be really slushy. You get some of these. But actually, to get the proper fall off, I'd probably just turn off the continuous mouse and go in there and do the multi-tap, to really get it, because it's kind of a pain in the ass. See, this is a more appropriate one where it's kind of broken up and it feels a lot more natural than what's going on over here just yet. I definitely will work on that, but not right now. We're not doing that. We're just kind of figuring out some shit. Like all this is too tall, perhaps. Click into smooth. Alright. Raise lower. Basically, there should be, it should be flat. If the snow and stuff wasn't here, it should be flat as you would walk around there. And you would walk around that way often. So the cow path should be, through there. Get some smoothing going on. Let's get a real big smooth. Big smooth. Big smooth. It's not small. No. We want to raise back here a whole lot, because we're just, inaccessible background. This is the edge of the cliff. If it was Gold Rush or Badwater, sort of a thing. It's kind of how this all started off. Was what if instead of rocky cliff, we just did buildings? That was one of the ideas. And sure, there's probably, other ones where you'd say this is a building. Say, you idiot, it's the same. Fair enough. I'm thinking of some of the urban models, urban maps or whatever. The Japanese one that's King of the Hill. Can't think of the name. Like that. I mean, that's kind of those kind of inspired me. I was like, if you took off all the textures and stuff, it's like, well, look, this is a canyon, just like in Badwater, Gold Rush, or whatever. And it struck me that I could do the same, and that's not like I was like, oh, and then so I made these buildings. It was that was just one of the ideas that I was experimenting with. Was let's build non-traditional backgrounds on a level. And it just so happened to become this one. But Um, that's where a lot of the stuff that came from is just I was interested in trying it out an idea. Most of my cow paths, I'll make them really flat, and then I'll come through and then do little tap dumps through them. Because when you walk along them, if they're flat, you can tell they're flat. But you give them a little bit of just tiny bit of variation in some of these, places where the cow path was deeper. It just feels like, yeah, that's worn down from people walking there, which is a completely different conversation in your head than, hey, that looks flat because the polygons are all stiff there. Because one is immersion discussion, and the other one is a non-immersion discussion in your head. And you want people to have the first one, that you want them to believe they're there. Obviously, you ask them, are you really in this? No, it's not that. It's just you want them to say, oh, yes, I want to walk there along the path that people walk on and it's worn down there. That's just it. I mean, it stops and starts there, sort of a thing. All right, just making sure I wasn't smoothing. I don't really know what happens to the texture when you smooth it, but it's like it reverses it to values. It's weird. I've had to fix some of it that I fucked that up. You basically have to just nuke the vert's color to full white twice, or full black twice, because you do it once, he keeps going, and then it's like it does it like negative values, perhaps. Oh, that's weird. It's really scary too, because of it. This should not be doing negative values. Probably isn't, but it might. Anyways, so now those dumps are a little heavy. So we're going to come in there and do some smoothing. This painting. Wow, I almost fucked that up. Thanks for saving me, chat. Way to go. All right. No, we want smoothing. Thank you. All right. We need a bigger smooth. We don't want to smooth that big. We want like 150-ish. Yeah. Let's see where that seems about right. Yeah. Because again, you come out, you're gonna have snow up against these buildings. Not gonna have so much here where people are walking. Need to have. Oh, that was too smooth. All right, we are definitely in the non-continuous section. Right. These you kind of, I want to go in and I just tap them down so that the angle from the snow to the, it's just a little more acute. And that's really abusing the term, but this kind of as get at you, just little tiny little taps, happy little taps for a happy little map. pull some of that out because it's against. It's just a touch too much. There we go. Let's see. It's kind of. I'll have to figure it out. Touch. Now we can go back and we kind of can see that this is much more, off the smooth. So that's going to want that, but then we're going to pull it back here. The idea here is, this is slushy, snowy, yucky, kind of outdoorsy thing going on here. Hasn't been shoveled because who in the fuck shovels cobblestone? So it just gets crappy. Pull that. I was gonna say that value seems to be a bit high. 78, sure as fuck is. So there we can do a little bit, and I kind of tune this in here while you guys are watching. You can kind of get the idea of, because none of that shit was really, it's really hard at the moment. I can assure you what I'm getting at. I want this to work. It feels much more like path, but it also feels like, nobody shoveled this path ever this winter. It's just worn down because people have walked there so much. Really could use a little tighter mesh, but this is the standard mesh size. I decided not to overgo it because I was like, well, the models are going to be plenty of verts. Let's try to make this work. And for the most part, it has. You can probably do a little bit back here. Not a whole lot. It's fine. I just want to imply that it's at least I want to put a little slushy out there. People definitely can walk out there. The kids have definitely walked out there. Kids are walking up to this door, in and out of the doors here. Goddamn fucking. That vert is being a pain in the ass. It may have been smoothed. Come at it the other way and let it be bright. Pull down some of the others. That works. No, that kind of needs to be. Here we go. Yeah. It's not perfect, but it works. Let's see, probably. There we go. Get that kind of working out. That feels a little better. Now I'm not going to put like stairs over this because you'll basically be able to just walk up the snow and kind of keep going. I'll probably put the fences up a little bit and you'll just walk through a place where there's no fences. So I don't want to make you have to go too high. Like if I put the fence here, right in front of you, and you had to like, you could then maybe like go up here and climb almost the boxes to get over it without having to go out through here. But then you're really tall, and you really would expose you to sniper fire. But as you jumped over, so want to just kind of let you through easier than that. Definitely want this to come up a little. And then pull our radius back down. Push that down, that down, that down, that down. We want to, kind of have a smoother transition here. Oh, like, couldn't get that little kink out of there. Pull that back down then. Oh, that's just not going to work, is it? Well, it probably doesn't need to. So let's jump out of this real quick. Let's grab this. Hello. Let's go ahead and see what this is going to look like. Damn it, I don't have my models turned on in this, and it makes it difficult. Although having them on is no favorite either. So we'll see. 2D draw models. Now you can see when I said my models have a lot of verts, that they do. To be honest, they will probably all have less verts than that when they actually ships. But as an asset, for a moment, they're fine and dandy. All right. All right. I'm not sure how. Not sure what I'm doing here, so I'm kind of figuring it out. As I said, I want to put the ability for the player to walk through air easier, and I do. So that's what we're working on. Basically make a little gate of some sort, I guess. Kind of just then brackets your death, I suppose. It's a little tall, that's why I pull down some. Really just need to sew those back up and not be lazy about it. So thank you. All right. I guess I don't. The problem I have here is the detailing. With these God, I'm not even sure what they're called. Braces, I guess. Because those are slot. The vertical ones are slots. Side ones are. I think they're braces, or at least the way I'm using them. Doesn't matter. I'd want to put a pole there of some sort. I don't have a pole made, but I've been wanting to make one for use in other places. So that works. Pull this one in. I don't want to have a half. There we go. I want to have a partial slat sticking through the wall, at least. It's just untidy. Untidy slots. So yeah. It seems about the right space. It's where I want it to be. If I need to, I could rotate both of them counterclockwise, get rid of that one. I just make the gate like open from here across. But that really feels, because really this space here against the wall is dead space. So putting this little detail here is not taking anything away from anybody, and it helps bracket the path through there. So it helps give the player, a hint. Hey, you can go through here. So, in general, that's a good thing. I'm sure, like I said, don't like that detailing, but we'll live with it. Other places I've been using, been jamming the fence into the bush here, which has been fine. Now that I say that out loud, maybe I could put the bush here and then rotate that over. Let's see. Getting some positive vibes on this, guys. Positive indeed. Look at that. You know what that is? This is a reused asset is what that is. It is the sexiest thing in the game right now. Alright, now with that one over there, and are we talking about another? We are. Oh my god, we've got a hat gate here. This is so fucking awesome. This is so unbelievably awesome. It's perfect. This is beyond perfect. It is Wutville correct. Oh, come on. Let's not, don't do that. God damn it. Now is not the time for dramatic camera angles. We can do that when we're working on the art book. All right. Now, first of all, we need to not have placement. You always rotate your shit. And I like to do it randomly. There we go. Look, it's exactly the same. That happens. There's only 360 angles. I mean, at some point, it's going to happen. It was like 270. It's fine. Let's pull this back a little bit. Kind of want to match, see how this one hangs over the edge a little bit, both sides kind of equally. Kind of want to do the same thing here. Because of where this extra layer of snow is, it makes the line along here kind of specific. You can't you can kind of see it, and I want that to be the same on this side, so that it, you know, looks like they're what they're supposed to. I like that with the little extra, with the little gate in there. It's nice. I might have to do that, go back and implement that in a few other places, because I really like that. That looks nice. To be honest though, then we can then, because these should be, yeah, they are. These are turned into dynamic models, which are basically static models that you could scale. You can't scale them non-uniformly, but you can scale them uniformly, which is kind of cool. Because those were actually a little big. So I pulled them back. That one was at 1. I want this one to be a little bit bigger. I'll try 1.1. Yeah, and then we'll pull it out of the ground a little bit more to kind of imply that. The idea here is that it kind of grows the fence line a little bit. I'm going to pull this one up a little bit too. Oh, and we're kind of poking through, so let's fix that. Boop. Boop. If there's anywhere where I can, continue to encourage that sort of, continuing art, swinging upwards or whatever, I try to lean into it. It helps, go with everything sort of idea. Because everything else is doing that, which is because I kept leaning into it. Yeah. Oh, it's a kitty. Hello. Hi. Meow. My little girl kitty just woke up. Hi. She's on a shelf above my desk that she has commandeered as her sleeping spot because she can watch me as I work. Anyways, I like this spot here. It lets you come out this door, bloop, and then it just kind of leads you straight, in that direction. Obviously, that does the same thing. It's basically you got options. I'm trying to make it easy for the player to. Almost broke out into a Christian camp song. It's okay. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. So let's quickly, because we don't have. It's nice to say that, you jump over it, you'd get shot. Going through it means you wouldn't get shot, but we need to put something over here to actually make that happen. Make the non-shooting happen. Because right now you still get shot in the face. Of course, the way the servers are right now, you'd always get shot in the goddamn face. But hey, we're not here to talk about that. Nutty Drew. Let's see here. See? This is working out. Who you tell that to? Myself? Shut up. Okay. Oh, my music has stopped. That is horrible. Hang on, let's get this lined up. Kind of basically, you look at both ends, and you kind of make the distance between that corner kind of the same. But you basically get as close, you get the center, so that's basically perpendicular to the center of this arc. So they're, they're as close as they're going to get. because they're not perfectly the same. The reused assets and all that. Now, if I used... and I want... See, I want this big one again. Or slightly big one. Bigger one. What's going on is I have a mouse with a center wheel that is really well juiced. And whenever I touch it, it'll spin freely for, you know, many rotations. So sometimes when I'm using it, it spins too far. Anyways, yeah, I can't say whether that's too tight or not because I haven't built this thing. And to be honest, even if it was, this thing in the back is pretty arbitrary. I can push that back, so I really don't care about this placement of these things at the moment until I build this piece. I mean, it'll be similar, but to be honest, what I'm doing is like I'm putting this bush down. This thing will have to adapt, not the bush. Although the bush might be able to move a couple if it needs to, but probably won't. Because the path will just come through here between the two. Because the path will then, you'd come through here, or you walk up it to the next one and go around. So it's, you know, not a bad thing either way. Not something I have to worry about. I would more be worried about, you know, how close this is to the center. I'm not, but you know, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Because essentially, the train has a center section that it's absolutely nothing can come into that area for obvious reasons. It's the train area. But then I like to duplicate that same volume on both sides so that players have the ability to do close combat around the train without it becoming too tight or a problem. You know, because if I brought the walls into here, kind of like on Frontier, there's a train tunnel where if you're fighting in that train tunnel, you do not want to be between the train and the wall. Just fucking awful. Which is funny because the train that I'm using is a reskinned version of the Frontier train, so it's like, you know, lessons learned. I love Frontier. I love the train. I hated the map. I mean, it was bad, and several places were just bad. But, you know, the end is good. The train part was good. But so many parts of it were just not great. Leave it at that. It just doesn't. It 100% doesn't feel like a coherent whole. There's definitely like this front section, the next section after it, and there's that middle section where you go up a hill, and it's got the arch, and that's so bad. It sucks to play there. And then turning the corner, and you've got this you got the spawn coming out there right on top of it. You got the little, all that's just kind of a clusterfuck. It doesn't feel good. You always get screwed over. It gets better once it gets past that spawn though, and then you go through another building, and then out, and then it angles out, and then off the cliff. Anyways, um, mine's not that big of a mess. Leave it at that. Anyways, so I like where this is going. I'm gonna have to build these rails. Delete that. This works. This is working. I'm gonna have to build those rails next, though, because I don't know. I mean, I could make some assumptions. But I need to build this piece too. So yeah, I might call it there. And then jump into Max and build the new pipe. And I might just build some curved rails without all the extra details, just kind of stick in there to get some sizing in there, see if that's right, see if it's wrong, see if it makes, see if, it'll probably be wrong, but it'll give me what I need to, build after that sort of a thing. Need to build some, need to build a piece to try. We'll see. But not a lot got done today, but gonna give an overview, and I haven't talked on these things for a bit, so hopefully this was more entertaining than the last ones. All right. Well, I'm gonna go. Well, take care. See you guys in the next one, I guess. Hopefully sooner than later. Cheers.